use certain words in Belize that they don't. They eat certain animals in Honduras that we don't have in Belize, right? Remember we spoke last week about how the Jampanu and the dancers dress differently in Belize, right, than in Honduras, right? So as what's the word? I don't think there's a word samely, as simpler as they are, as similar sounding as the music is to you, there are slight variations between the sounds played in Honduras, Belize, Guatemala, and elsewhere. Right? So that's what he was studying. Being a musician, he quickly heard the similarities and the dissimilarities in the music. Right? Well, before Dr. Phillips, we never had any serious scholar of Garifuna drumming. Right? Nobody's ever come up with notations, for example. What do the notes that these drums play look like on paper, for example? The musical notation, right? One other question, there she is, beautiful. The other question is, what are these drums saying? You ever wonder? Imagine with me for a second that at one point in history, these drums are actually repeating human words, right? Some of you are familiar with the history of drumming in the United States. That during slavery in the United States, drums were forbidden by the white masters refused to have the black slaves play drums. Anybody? Can anybody imagine or guess why? It took the masters a couple of years to figure out that these people were actually talking to each other from plantation to plantation. Because the drums were actually talking words. They were repeating human words. Right? Dun, 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 means something, except that we've lost the meaning. But we've retained the patterns. Right? We know what they're saying, we just don't remember the words. But I do firmly believe that these patterns are words. At least at one, yeah, they are words. Yeah. So that's what Dr. Billy studied, right? And if you go down, Cheryl, you'll look at up there. Yeah, you kind of messed up, yeah. Now go to the musical connotation where it shows, yeah, it's all messed up. You guys have a better print out, right? No, it's go into the couple pages down where the
is it the 3 columns, that one?
no, it is where words are. The musical connotation. Tell me a minute there. What it looks like. What the notes look like on paper. No? Musical connotation, or get you on my side, it actually is a technological marvel. It is so simple that it is deceptive. It can fool you till you start listening to it. And that was the magic that hit Professor Phillips that night. I mean, here's a man, a worldly man who's traveled the world, who's played with the best, and he walked in and he'd never heard that song before, never heard. But he said what struck him was the singing, not so much the music. He said he's never heard 3 men singing three-part harmony in the midst of all that, what do you call it, the music, not syncopation, the opposite, the cacophony of sound, the confusing sound. And yet we weren't confused at all. We were just there stating and it's like, as it goes, we knew what we were doing. And we were like, we know what we're doing. What do you talk as it goes? The word begins with D. Discord. That's right. Discord.
Alagudahoni Arufudahati. I have a question. Well, it's not a question, really. It's a statement. In lieu of this being the last class, next week they will be graduating. We're going to review everything next week, especially the vocabulary that they have learned throughout 7 weeks.
Yeah.
And so today would be nice if we could do some of the songs that you have on your songbook,
Yes,
and so they could actually,
yes.
yeah.
I'm getting them primed up.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Trust me, I think I know what to do. No, I don't.
Dangerous.
He is.
No, you can't find the Cheryl, thanks, Cheryl.
Yeah, find it in there.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Find
Here.
it.
Here they are. For the Gunte, you did that for the Gunte, see? The musical notation. Maybe you can take a shot of it to DJ on the, and then, there's more, right? So he did a marvelous job of documenting Garifuna music for the very first time, as far as I'm concerned. That, this is how do you say it, a dissertation? So it's not published, right? Dissertations are not made public, right? Or they have it at the library, you can see.
You actually can buy them. It's called UMI.
Oh, really?
Go online and search UMI dissertations, and they're usually expensive, especially depending on what year
Yeah,
they
they're
were
pretty
made.
expensive, yeah.
And if it's later, I don't know what year did he graduate, do you know?
It's 2006.
Oh, then it might be digital, so those are a little cheaper.
Okay.
But search UMI dissertations. And
Yeah,
it should
because I
come up.
remember I was doing research for that project that I'm working on, the sentence completer. And, technology, the educational, digital education is fairly new. It's a fairly new field of study. And I swear, I just, up and down the internet trying to find, supplementary, to better inform the investors and to appease them and all that. And couldn't. And then I ran into, here it was. I was like, whoa, it's what I've been looking for. And then, I went there and downloaded me. I said, sure, I'm going to download you. Download me for free. I just wrote a song called Download Me for free. Yeah, so I'm going to download me sucker. And they said $4,598. I was out of that site so I was out of there so quickly. Download me. I was like, yeah, real. Anyway, there we are. We're starting. We're about to go into the lyrics, right? This shot, wonderful shot, was taken by C.C. Smith. One of my best friends. She was a good friend, and one of the persons that introduced us to the rest of the world musically. She was the disc jockey of the African beat on KCRW for many years, and a personal friend of mine. And this was the last weekend in LA. She was moving to Wisconsin or wherever she is now, and she just, can we take a couple minutes of you, Sidney? I was like, sure. And then, so that's going to be the cover of our book, right? These guys are famous. You know these guys, right? That's whatever Arada from the Garifuna Collective. Josh, that's Josh. And you know this guy, right? And that's Kelsey from Divine Arada. And then this is John from, he's big, he plays all the different groups. So
Honduras.
Honduras, yeah. He's a very talented guy. He's an actor, he's a singer, he's everything. But, anyway, let's move to the first song. And this time I want us to focus on the words, right? The lyricism of things. What's the name of the first song, my dear?
There it is. Ramona Egi.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's messed up. It's supposed to have been what do you call this? Landscape, right? Yeah, change the landscape. All right, and this first song is called Almond. And it's one of my favorite songs.
Amote.
Yeah. you guys probably heard this song before, right? Okay. Here we go. Follow it. Follow it with your eyes. Look at the lyrics. The Garifuna lyrics. While I
He could play segunda if you want to play primera. Isani could play segunda.
Yeah. Come on, son.
Isani, play segunda there.
All right. Work with that. All right. I'll just play the bass line. All right. So follow me. Right. It's my song, I wrote it, but I might forget the lyrics, and just go ahead and just laugh, And this is a most, how do you call it, most loved, most beloved style, and it's called the polka, right?
There you go.
I literally copied it from Michael Jackson. There was I like it so much that I put it in that song. A young artist borrows, and a mature artist steals. No, I don't want the kids to hear that.
It's on video.
So I stole that bit from Michael Jackson. The way you make me feel. I put it in there. That little voice. So there, the lyricism of things, right? Would anybody volunteer to tell me what they think this song is about? By the way, it was a great hit in 1987, and to this day it's become one of the seminal Garifuna songs that's played everywhere in the Garifuna community.
Yep.
It's very day.
Yep. Nice percussion.
That's right. And still sought after. The album is still sought after, and I need to get back in the studio and reproduce it. Anybody? Clues from the English version, the Spanish version? Any idea what the song is about?
It seems as though people are losing their culture.
Thank you, my dear.
It's about what?
You're a
About
genius.
people losing their culture.
Ah.
You guys are ingenious. You guys are brilliant. It's a song of lamentation, right? It's a song of loss. It's an older man regretting that his children and his relatives have forgotten his culture and the largesse, the gifts that his forefather has bestowed in it, right? It's really not a happy song at all, right? Remember those words that I used last week, the danceable lamentations? This is a lamentation. This is an older man. This is me as a young man seeing myself at age 50-something and saying like, man, we're losing it. You know? And lots of people agreed. Thereafter they said, none of my songs seem happy, so I tried to do some love songs. I'm not very good at it. I'm better at complaining.
Oh, Andy P. also recorded the song, remember the one that he recorded before he passed away?
Oh, yeah.
About Funa-san?
Yeah. He was aware too. Mm-hmm. I hope so. We're pleased, we're proud, we're happy that you young ladies are here and interested in learning and preserving our culture. And we're even more pleased that you two ladies are here and enjoying our culture and participating in it. And I have to say thank you to all of you. Right? This is serious business. Culture is serious business, and culture is big business. Right? Big. Yeah, really. We have musicians and artists that make big money. We have
Aurelio.
Martinez, worldwide, international superstars. Right? So to preserve your culture, to be able to read it and understand it is a blessing. I read somewhere in the literature as a middle school teacher that students who come to school with a strong sense of culture are the better students. Right? Better. Because you're worldly, you're aware, you can see things from different dimensions. Right? I want to test how secure and how brave you are by having you read the lyrics in Garifuna out loud. She rolled her eyes and was like, go ahead and read it.
Try.
Laugh. Already, I saw it, right? So you have a good idea what they said. Go ahead, give it a try. From the Garifuna version, start from the first line. Remember this is a Garifuna language class, right? It's not just singing and dancing.
Okay, good. Okay.
What's your name, young lady? Jennifer, keep reading, Jenny. Maggie, Harun, Maggie. Mm-hmm. Gubari.
No, Papa.
With the right accent, too. All right, Jennifer, what's this
At the top.
Mm-hmm. Read it. You got it correct. Don't be afraid. Go there. Louis.
Yay! Hey. Yeah, wow.
Next. Your name? Queen? Beautiful name. Give it a try.
Ania, dan
Right there is honey, at the bottom.
Ania dan Adagua.
There it is. Adagua. Girl, anyway, I'm not supposed to clap.
Machulu Adua.
Machula, that's beautiful.
Yara Wachiri Rugu.
Wachari Rugu.
Wachiri Mapa Fuhadua.
Mm-hmm.
Rum.
Mm-hmm.
Waga.
Syllable by syllable.
Riagun. Wanwa.
Beautiful.
Chahihina.
Chahiha.
Chahiha. Larry.
Mm-hmm.
Barawa. Iheraha.
Eheraha.
Eheraha Wa.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Nice.
So you can feel the sentiment of it, right? You understand the metaphor, right? Even the sea is laughing at us, right? And you understand that, I'm sure you're familiar with the relationship of the Garifuna people to the sea, right? We are traditionally fishermen and farmers, right? And we're also known as musicians, artists, creative people, right? But look at the sad state of our affairs. The sea, our friend, is laughing at us behind our backs. Our ally, the sea, right? So that is our state of affairs, real or imagined. Huh? All right. You want to read? You want to read? Give it a try. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. I like that. I like when you read it. You read it lyrically. You give it a lyric. The cadence, they call it like a Baptist minister, right? Go ahead. All right. Beautiful.
Nice.
So there, right? You see elements of our culture, right? The how do you call it, Dr. Michelle? The most important aspects of our culture, the sea and farming, they're embedded in the song, right? Like the metaphor of the egret, that white, how do you call it, bird that sits on top of the back of the cattle and is picking all the ticks from there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it is. And then there's the metaphor of the sea, right? So the sea and farming and music, I brought them all together, intertwined them, right? To show our relationship with those elements, right? And the regret that these elements, the idea behind the metaphor is that it's our allies that are regret having us give up on them, right? Mm-hmm. The sea is laughing at us. The Egrets are no longer coming to town because we have nothing going.
Were you in Belize when you wrote this song?
No, I wrote it here in California.
And so there must have been some kind of divine intervention for you to have written this way, because this is not like a city type of, you know.
I was living in the heart of South Central, on Central and Vernon, across from the Jack in the Box, where there was a 2-story house and there was a jewelry store in the bottom, and I lived on the 2nd floor. And the guys decided they wanted to form a Garifuna band, but they didn't want to use traditional lyrics. They wanted, you know, I said, I didn't talk Garifuna proficiently, so I said, I'll write it in English, and then you guys translate it tomorrow. And they were like, you sure? And that night it just came pouring down on me. And I woke up the next morning, and that's what I wrote, right here.
Wow.
I wrote this right. It's different. Things have changed. It's different. Things have changed. The cattle egrets no longer eats, ticks from the cow. The cattle egrets, and it just came pouring down. Here is time. Even time is making a mockery of us, right? Time is making a mockery of us. We no longer, come to our plantations. We are powerless to care for ourselves. Grain in his teeth, the sea laughs at us, right? That's not how we would say it in English, right? But how do we call it again, Dr. Michelle? We place the subject, the object before the verb and all that, right? In grammar?
The Garifuna is BSO language, the verb, subject, object, rather than English is SVO, subject, verb, object. Garifuna always think verb comes first, then the subject, then the object.
So that wouldn't be poetic license, right? If I wrote grain in his teeth, the sea laughs at us, right? That's not poetic
That's
license.
chaos, yeah.
Yeah, and that's how we would say, right? Right? We wouldn't say the sea laughs at us and grain in his teeth, right? Yeah. All right. So that is deliberate, right? That is being Garifuna is understanding the language.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't sit well in English, that's how we talk in Garifuna. All right? That's new.
Is there, this is going to sound a little corny, but is there like a Rosetta Stone that could help? Because this is hard for me to get these words. I don't have my accent marks.
There is a Rosetta Stone. I'll send it to you.
Oh, really?
It's
or something better.
GarifunaInstitute.com.
Yeah, and Dr. Michelle has a wonderful language.
Oh, yeah, she got it. Did you get it? The workbook? We offer it here for a donation. Yeah, we have a workbook.
I haven't.
Yeah, you do.
She has a wonderful, Dr. Michelle has a wonderful primer. And then there's another one that was written by Fabian Cayetano. It's called it's a primer too that he did for the Peace Corps. I don't want this on the internet, DJ, but I'll send it to you, but it's not for sale. Somehow I got it, and if you're really interested in language, I can send it to each of you. I'll send it to DJ, and then you can really teach yourself how to speak Garifuna with that primer.
So it's auditory then, right? Because that's what I need.
No, it's not auditory.
Oh.
You could call me if you need to help with the pronunciations, or you could we could put a packet together, maybe a couple of CDs, films, readers. We need to really do work at that level after this.
Go on our YouTube channel.
Oh yeah.
Go. We have Gafu.
Right.
There's lots of videos there on pronunciation and different lessons on the history and traditional dances and characters in Honduras. And Gafu, just type GAHFU and then click on channel, Gafu channel. You should be able to get over 60 videos.
How did I teach myself the language? Oh! Yeah, I mean, all the criticism, people are like, that's not him singing, man. That boy can't speak a word of Garifuna. I mean, his grandmother was Creole. I mean, come on, they don't talk Garifuna at home. So bought all the books I could, started hanging out with Don Gusto, who insisted you taught Garifuna at the house, you know. And I used the songs, used the words from my songs in my speech. People were like, you sound just like your songs. Those are what it words. No. So yeah, that's what I taught myself. Basically, and over the years, I just, you know, and then I wrote 2 Garifuna handbooks, one for beginning learners and one for advanced learners that I haven't published yet, and they're next on my list. Next week is a culmination, right?
Yeah, next week will be...
Okay, so I'll send a couple pages this week so you can send it to the students of the handbook.
Okay.
For free. You know, just send it to them. So, well, that's how you teach yourself Garifuna, right? You have to, like they say in spiritualism and agape, you have to actually do the work. You know, just going to church on Sunday will probably not do it for you. Right? You have to go in there and do the actual work. You know, look at the words, work with them, pronounce them, you know, use them at home. The language is syllabic, is that correct definition? It's syllable by syllable. And this is not the accepted order of writing Garifuna words. Our linguist, Roy Caetano, and a group of other writers have come up with a system of writing Garifuna songs, Garifuna words, right? In which they have the tildes, the accents, and all that on there. But I chose to just write it in plain form as Don Gusto would, because it's easier to read and understand, you know, especially for my younger readers, right? But who knows? Maybe in the end, this will be the format that people will use, or we could use both formats. In 17-something, Thomas Jefferson, I think it was, or Benjamin Franklin added like 7 extra syllables to the English language. And people were like, forget you, English is tough enough already, we're only going to use 26. So those 7 just disappeared. You know, language is usage thereof, is use of, right? Some words we just drop in the lexicon, right? Like, who remember a couple years ago, everybody's catchphrase was, and you know what? You don't hear people saying, and you know what anymore? That was an annoying line. Right? You know what? You know, people don't use it, you know what anymore. And that was just like 5 years ago, 7 years ago, right? What's that? Right there, our little resident genius. Just read half again. What's it? Sad will read all of that. Read over here, young lady, the first 2 verses. In English, read the English version. You do the Garifuna version later. I want you to get a sense of it.
Seagull, oh seagull, could you fly back to St. Vincent or Mary? You believe the pigeon is better than you are. Listen to me, seagull, you are blessed. You are all we have left.
Deliver this note to Kanini. Sadly, Baruda will not be returning tomorrow. Seagull, oh seagull, could you fly back to St. Vincent on our behalf? Say hello to the newborn seagull. Tell him we will return, even if it's 200 years hereafter.
Nice.
Your sentiments, please. Any feelings, any thoughts, any ideas, any, can anybody guess where the song is coming from? Where can anybody imagine or discern where the songwriter is?
No.
Jump in.
No, put them on the spot. Who do they-
Young lady, you have any idea what the songwriter is? Somebody had to have written that song, right? Where was he or she?
On the way to
On a ship, right? And there's no way to get the message back. So here comes the seagull. And you just tie a note to the seagull's leg and tell him, please find your way back to St. Vincent. You know, tell him we're here stuck in the middle of all around us is just deep blue sea. We don't know where we are, you know? And then there's the songwriter alludes to the pigeon, right? Saying that the pigeon knows how to do that. That's why you think he's better than you, because that's what he does. The homing pigeon, they call him, right? They know how to fly back home, but we don't have a homing pigeon. We need you to fly back home and tell them we're on our way to, we don't know where, but we'll be back. In the words of the governor, we'll be back, even if it's 2 years, 200 years from now, right? I don't know where that one came from. I just made it up. I was working on the second part of the play, Life and Times of Satya, part 2, and it takes place in Jamaica. Most people don't realize that the Garifuna people did spend 18 days in Jamaica, right? And we do believe that some people stayed in Jamaica. This is an aside, right? This is Garifuna history. What, 7 or 8 ships left St. Vincent, but only 5 arrived in...
11.
11? But only 8 ships arrived in Roatan. So what happened to the other 3 ships? Well, that year, 1776, a shipload of blacks arrived in Nova Scotia with no papers. British merchantmen were trying to sell a shipload of supposedly black slaves without identification. This is written, it's in history, right? And then another boatload of people showed up on an island off of Cartagena. Cartagena, some people call it, right? Cartagena in Venezuela.
Yeah, the Orinoco Basin, yeah.
Yeah, with the same story. They did not have papers and the Spaniards turned them away. Right? There you have it. I mentioned her last week. The anthropologist Nancy Gonzalez has said that she's found lots of similarities between the Maroons of Jamaica and the Garifuna people. That some of those people remained behind in Jamaica or ran away, or some of those people find their way to the hills of Jamaica, and she said that the music of Bob Marley is very similar to our music. Right? Bob Marley declared himself and knows himself to be a Maroon, descended from the Maroons, right? So, there are incidents and accidents in history, right? Things happen. But back to the song. All right, now that we understand the song, the emotions, the sentiments, the it of it, where it came from, right? Let's see if it rounds out in Garifuna, right? Sally, you haven't read. Let's give it a shot. Sally in Garifuna. Slowly, syllable by syllable. Sawara. Sawa. Ra. What's it? Guwaranti. That's why I put the H there so you can see the one, right? Normally we just put an accent on the end. The second line. Guwaranti Hamuga.
Oh, down here. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm reading the title stuff. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Okay.
But yeah, very nice, very nice. Let's look at the title, Sawara, right? And you see what the name of the style is called? Bangidi.
Bangidi.
Bangidi, right? Bangidi. Can you see what it says in English?
Tips.
Tips. Can you see what it's called in Spanish?
Punta.
Because punta is a Spanish word, it's not a Garifuna word. There's no such thing as punta in Garifuna in the dance itself. It's bangidi, right? It's tips. You know what tips means, right? It means point. And when you're dancing, you stop at a certain point. Remember that stop that I used? Remember last week I told you that there were stops and pauses in music? That's what it alludes to. Right? But somehow it has become interchanged, and now we use put that here in the place. Nobody calls it Bangidi anymore. We call it Kosa. Things change, things happen. We adapt words to other languages and that's the way it is. Right?
Bangidi.
Very nice, glad you caught that. DJ still remembers the word Bangidi?
Bangidi. Oh, we learned it in our classes, yeah.
Oh, okay. So there, nobody calls it Bangidi anymore, but I call it that for posterity, just to preserve the word itself. Right? Okay. First verse, Sally, please. That's right, Bahama. Sounds like the word Bahamas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Barigon. Yeah. Wobadina. 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 Wob. Yeah, you see? Yeah, on our behalf. Could you fly back on our behalf? Yeah. I'm going to torture you with love. Something like that, right? It's not a very easy song, right? But it's a song of hope, a song of redemption, a song that someday we will return back to our homeland, really. We own St. Vincent, you know, it belongs to us. The British forcibly removed us from there, but that doesn't mean it's no longer ours, it still is. And one day, you guys will return back to St. Vincent to reclaim it, right? The process has already been jump-started. The Prime Minister of St. Vincent, Goncalves,
Gonsalves,
Gonsalves has already drafted a repatriation letter of movement to ask the British to give back St. Vincent to the Garifuna people. It's a true story, right, Sheriff? Yeah, because it's ours. The people of Haiti are still paying back the French. 200 years later, they're paying back the French for the property that they seized after the French Revolution. If the poorest people, or one of the poorest nations on earth, can pay back a rich European country, then a really rich country like England can give us back our island. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think so. It's ours. Yeah. Moving right along. We'll just go down this way, right? Just one paragraph. Take your time, take a deep breath, you know, syllable by syllable. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's right. Uh-huh. Magir Dubon. Uh-huh. Barawuda. 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 That's right. Beautiful. Love the accent.
Who was,
right, you see what the song is saying, right?
who was Barawuda? Yeah.
Deliver this note to Kinini, who is a guy, right? Kinini is a male's name, right? Deliver this note to Kinini and tell him, you know, sadly, but in lyricism, with songwriting, you don't have to use all the words, right? Some of the words that are missing is understood, right? You don't have to say, deliver this note to Kinini and tell him, you don't have to do that. Just say, deliver this note to Kinini. Sadly, Barawuda, his mother, right, will not be returning tomorrow. Those are sad words, really, right? Imagine that the Garifuna people were on the island of Bekia, where the British had them imprisoned, held against their will, for what, a couple of months?
Bekwa, I don't know how
It
long.
was quite a while, like 6 months or something.
Right.
Right? They're on a bare, barren island where there's nothing to eat.
Besides, what is the word?
On Bekia, whatever.
No, besides Baliso.
Palacio, yeah. I think it was Palacio, right? It was Palacio.
I was both, right?
Palacio and Bekia, yeah. And people are on these barren islands with not much to eat and just dying every day from yellow fever, right? But remember, not all the Garifuna people were rounded up, right? Some people escaped into the bushes, into the hills of the islands, right? And they're hopeful that one day the British will come to their senses and just free these people, let these people come back home. But it never happened. Instead, they put them on ships and there they were in the middle of the Caribbean, right? And Kennedy, tied this note onto the leg of a seagull and he said, fly back home, his brother, the songwriter. The songwriter is a narrator in the song, right? The songwriter is telling the story, right? And he's telling the seagull, he's repeating what he saw in the song. And he's saying, this guy, or whoever the character is, tied a note onto the seagull and told the seagull to fly back home to Kennedy to tell him his mother won't be coming back home tomorrow. Yeah. Yes. All right, we're running out of time, right? So we'll take a look at one other song because we're working on just turn to the other song. We're working on operator. We're working on Garifuna words today, right? Operator. Oh, 5 minutes. I wish we could go longer. I was enjoying this. Anyway, we're gonna culminate with a dance. Right? Remember last week I said we were gonna dance and only 2 people dance. Remember? All right. So Cheryl is gonna send us off by teaching you ladies how to do the paranda.
Yay!
Yay! Everybody say yeah! Everybody say yeah!
Yay!
Everybody say yeah!
Yay!
Everybody say yeah!
Yeah!
All right. Okay, so you have a broken rib, Cheryl?
Bring it back to the song.
Let's stop there. Go back up. To where the song styles are.
That one?
Right there. Could you? All right. Remember those styles I was telling you about, Sally?
Yes.
So there they are. Right? And there are more. The first one is the gunje, right? Everybody say the word gunje? All right. This is a language class. And the gunje, the bass line of the gunje sounds something like this. And then there's the Chariganare. We work with that. And then there's the Punta again. Punta Lugu is if we play, right? Also play Lugu. Right? And then there's the Chururti, the dream songs, the ones that we play in the temple. Those are largely, how do you call it, instrumental, with no music, how do you call it again? A cappella, right? And then there's the Gugu again, and then the Mata Muerte, I don't remember the style at this point, but those are some of the styles. The dance music, right? And then we have non-dance music, right? Various, which are guitar songs. Laremuna Egi, we're here, which are work songs. Great in Kasama songs, right? It's a cappella, the women are great in the Kasama and they're singing and they have the body motion too. It's actually a rhythmic, like a work dance, just moving the body according to the motions of the work, right? And then there's Ayu Day Hani, which is a hammock song. As you're rocking the hammock, you're singing like a lullaby to the babies, right? Ayu Day Hani, And then Esedara Hani, are chorals that we sing for Pastor and Christmas, right? And then Leremun and Nadavni, which is the same as Leremun Egi, except these are male work songs, right? I had it twice, I don't know why. And then Leremun and Maypole. You guys know what Maypole is? Yeah? You ladies know what Maypole is? It's a German pole dance. Yeah, the Maypole came from Germany, in which there's a pole and different color ribbons, and then the girls or women hold the pole and they dance around each other with the, holding on to their ribbon. It's a beautiful dance. Somehow we've made it Garifuna. And then here's the one I was telling you about last week. Remember Dombo, the brother Bill played, right? Dombo. Remember the prelude, right? The prelude. And then Heramun Irahi, lullaby, right? And then Ianu is unaccompanied semi-sacred gesture songs. Ianu actually means rap. It's talk, Ianu, to talk, right? It's a rap song. It's a song in which people just talk singing, right? And then Dabuya Barugu, the temple songs. Of which this is the famous one. Remember the one that I started? I told you that our sacred songs are, this person having a dream and singing about a chicken. Whatever. Wow, you're singing about a chicken in our temple? Well, that's the duality of the Garifuna language, right? You think we're singing about the fall, but that fall that carries sacred symbolism. Right? Maybe it's a symbolism and deeper meanings of the words that we've lost. And that's why it's important that we hold these classes and these sessions so we can pass on the meanings of and the depth and all the riches that come with being Garifuna. Right? Feel blessed, be blessed. Yours is a rich legacy of music, dance, wonderful clothes, lovely food, right? Language, you know what I mean? Dances. Look at the second to the last one. Amali Hani, called the Mali, right? It's a veneration to the ancestors, right? It's a supplication song. All these styles. All the music, all the dances, right? Look at the last one. Awangula Hani. It's a dance of rejoicing, right? And so we end on that note.
Thank you so much.